Okay, guys. Hey, Darksmiter here, and welcome to this. I mean, it says it's 5 seconds of shark, but I don't. I think that name changes when I refresh the page a bunch. Um, yeah, it's the above variable name shark game at Surreal. Um, oh, huh. This is a curiosity. Okay, these don't have any dates. That's not a good thing. Anyway, I saw somebody else playing this, and I thought, um, I would play a clicker game because that's what this is. Because look, bam, we got our stuff. We got a fish. But I'm also gonna cheat. Yeah. Anyway, I just thought I would do this because it seems like everybody else plays a clicker game at some point. There's a lot of clicker games out now, but as you know, you should be aware of the channel. I mean, playing Transistor, I am obviously behind the times. But whatever. Anyway, um, yeah, it's just auto clicker. Well, no, let's just go to this. I played this a bunch, so I kind of know the secrets. But, we're going to pretend that I don't. So, hey, look, here's a clicker game. I like clicker games. Oh, look. Shark in a Strange Blue Sea. Quite the group going now. Really? Okay, I think that it's supposed to be me. I am the shark. But I also have a shark pal and a stingray pal, which is what that picture is supposed to describe. Anyway, I don't know what to do with this. There's going to be no music, so I just have to talk a lot more. Well, we can figure this out. Every shark we hire gives us more fish per second. Let's go up to 10. And every ray we have gives us sand. It just looks like sand. Whoa. Some curious crabs come over. Hey, crab. Wow. Shark in a Strange Blue Sea. Your new tribe is at your command. So I got some stingrays. I got some sharks. Got some crabs. I wonder if this image is to imply that in at least 3 rays, at least 5 sharks, and then you start getting crabs. Well, we're growing. We're growing. We got crabs, which are generating crystals. We got rays giving us sand. Oh, and it would appear they're giving us some fish too, but it's like invisible because it's too small. The impact isn't very strong, so we can't tell how much it actually is increasing by. But fuck, we need crystals, and they're going up by 0.04 a second. It takes forever to get us a crystal. So, yeah, mostly just waiting. That's like how a clicker game works, right, guys? I'm recording this on the summer solstice, which is the Monday. It's just like 2 days after. You guys will see the video 2 days later, but 2 days prior was a summer solstice, which is today. And it's also a full moon, which is pretty cool. And I guess this is a thing that I wasn't aware of. That full moon and summer solstice on the same day is a thing called a strawberry moon, which, I don't know, sounds cool. I think it's mostly because of, like olden times with the moon and mysticisms and such, which is pretty cool because the moon's rad. And I was thinking about how, back in time people were like, dang, oh dang, that moon is magic. It's a magic moon. And it's like, now in today's time, nobody's like, that moon is magic, really. Obviously, there's people that are like, into magic and stuff, and witches and Wiccans and whatever, but like, the vast majority of people aren't like, oh wait, hang on. The crystals are shiny. Some sharks stare at them curiously. Ooh. What was I saying? Right. The moon and magic. So I don't think most people are like, it's magic. But you could kind of think of it as magic. Like, science came around and kind of explained away a lot of magic, which I don't know. You can take that however you want, but I kind of think it a little bit sucks because, magic's pretty cool, especially when we write about it in stories and whatever. But, like, I don't know. The moon's still kind of magic because, like, well, as an example, we're playing this game where we're a shark. And a shark lives in the water, which is what Earth has. Obviously, you guys know this. But, like, without the moon and a bunch of other factors and a whole, like, mess of weird and kind of, like, seemingly coincidental situations, the Earth wouldn't exist. And, I mean, like, life on Earth, as we know it, wouldn't exist. Oh, what's this, you say? Hang on. Pause my curiosities about life existing on planet Earth, and let's point to this that says, train a science shark. We can train a shark in the fine art of research and the science of, well, science. For 1 shark and 20 crystals? Let's science it up, boy. The shark in a strange blue sea. The science shark swims in their own school. Oh, yeah, I guess, because the rest of our sharks are yum, 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 eating. Although I'm boss shark, so, like, I can click whenever I want to fish. These guys just do it for me. We discovered the laboratory. Shoot. Right, but before we go look at the laboratory, because I'm also aware that it's a little more expensive than what we can afford, like, if it weren't for water existing on Earth, a part where we suddenly had a bunch of oxygen in the atmosphere, the moon doing its moon biz, just like plate tectonics and convecting mantle that happens in our Earth. There's like all these different, and then more parts too, but those are like some of the main ones that I know more about. If we didn't have any of those things, just think that like life wouldn't exist. That's like why they're probably, they think there's like little bacteria, whatever, on Mars, but it might have had water, but it's like not tectonically active, which is starting to, like, it seems like a important thing for whatever the genesis of life as we know it. But it's just so, like, the moon, how the moon formed, where supposedly the prevailing theory is like a Mars size planet thing crashed into the early Earth, and they both kind of exploded and left a bunch of crap floating around in space. But because obviously the Earth was real big, the like main core of the moon got trapped in the orbit, and because of the impact, like I said, chunks flew off. It like basically melted the ball, but it maintained, because it had its own gravity, so it's got all this stuff. And it pulled all the different rocks around, and they made their own little thing, and finally worked it out until some of the parts from the moon were stuck on the Earth, and some of the parts of the Earth were stuck on the moon. They kind of interchanged particles, and then, boom, moon. But now we got some crazy shit going on, like the moon does tides, the moon does a bunch of shit like that, and it's very, like, good for the Earth. I don't know. So that's just like, how the moon's still kind of magic, but like, not like, I don't know, whatever. Anyway, let's look at the laboratory. Considering I just dropped a little bit of science on you guys, science that I know about, let's figure out some shark science. Shark science is it's just sort of off to the side. The science sharks congregate and discuss things with words you've never heard before. Hey, whatever. I'm immersed in the game. I'm a shark man. I'm a shark guy. I guess I'm just regular old shark. But I probably know these words, unless they're all things that they're making up, which they totally are. Alright. We have crystal bite gear. Bite the crystals we have into something to help biting. Oh, well, we get shark power times 2, and it's cheap. We have a lot of science, actually. So, blam! And And then crystal spades. Fashion strange harness tools for the ray. We get ray power times 2. Cool. It costs some sand, but fuck, we got a shitload of sand because there's nothing to spend it on yet. And then, yeah, here we are. We still need a lot of crystals. Crystals are our limiting factor in the Sharky world here. You know, I was hoping this would go a little bit faster, but I don't think there's any way to do that. I mean, I guess I could click something, but yeah, you know what? Blam. We gotta wait until we get 50 crystals anyways to get the next upgrade. But, you know, because I just wanted to... I mean, this is a clicker game. There's only so much you can do when you start. We got 50 crystals and 100 science. We got plenty enough. It says these effects... Oh, double... crystal containers. Make weird bottle things from crystals we have. Maybe useful? Double science shark power. But it also unlocks a bunch of upgrades, which we can't get to yet. We need more science. But we're getting more science per turn. See, look, yeah. More discoveries are needed. We got the science sharks looking all sciencey and cool and shit. Currently, crabs are our only income of fucking crystals, but it takes for goddamn ever to get them because... Look at that. Look at that. Crab increases crystal by, like, nothing. 0.01 each crab. Bunch of fucking bullshit, if you ask me. And we need 60 more crystals to make science more. Science happen more. Do more science are good. Ooh. Yeah. I think you all are impressed about my English skills here. Anyway, let's recruit some more sharks so we can, you know, get more fish. Fishy, fishy, fish. A fish, a fish, fish. Ooh. Oh, let's get some storage caves. Here. Actually, does this do anything? No. We can look at the grotto. The grotto is a place to keep a better track of resources. You can dispose of those you don't need anymore. Disposing specialist returns them to their normal previous lives. I haven't found any use for that. Oh no. This is how long we've been playing. And this is the total amount of stuff we got. This also tells us what everything does, which is really important. So a shark gives us 1 fish a second, and now it's times 2. A ray actually gives us 0.2 fish a second. So they're giving us 6 fish a second also, besides their sand a second. Crabs have this fucking... Why is this a garbage number? And now science sharks are giving us 2 science a second. So we'll set that to 10. I like buying things in 10 if I can, which we can afford it here and here. Crabs cost fish. Come on, fish. We could turn off the descriptions so it doesn't say anything, but that's kind of boring. I don't know. There's just a lot of clicker games out there. Actually, was a reason. There's a bunch of them on Steam. This one's online, which if you want to play a clicker game, I'll obviously link to the game in the description. But like, there's a bunch on Steam, and a lot of them are stupid. There's a new one called Insanity Clicker, which was not good because it had cool art, but every time you clicked, it just covered the screen in blood. So it's like, oh great, what am I supposed to do with this, basically? Oh yeah, more crystals. It doesn't really help, but oh, double science shark power again. Yes, please. Seabed geology. Hey, that's what I do. Geology part. I didn't even click to see what we just did. We did underwater chemistry. Yeah, they just have new chemical insights and they're better effective. Here's a little picture of more science sharks doing sciencey things. I don't know why they're flipping out like that. Let's buy some rays, I guess, so we can have some sand for a reason. I don't know. Like, I played through this and I thought that when we get to the thing that happens, but it happened way faster. Oh, yeah, there was a little time skip there, guys. But that's okay. Just wanted to wait until we could get to, like, the next step, you know. Might cut a little bit of this down, where it gets to the boring parts, because I kind of want to show what happens. Anyway, we got some seabed geology. Let's click it. Blam! Rays are twice as effective with their understanding of the seabed and its variety of sediments. Well, we also have available upgrades for thermal vents. We can investigate those. And agriculture? Okay, they want to teach sharks to be agricultural, which seems ridiculous. So what do we need for those things? Hundreds of science, basically. Well, you know, you'll see when we have that. Oh, would you look at that? Cut back right to where we have enough science for both of these things. So let's do thermal vents. Oh no, it opened up a bunch of other crap. We need crystals. Now we'll need a bunch of crystals, but let's also, so like, power source for future technologies have been discovered. Oh, and then the hunter-gatherer lifestyle, yeah. We have to gather animals in one place and let them grow. And now we've got a bunch of other crap, like laser rays. We've arcane shark mystery science. We can capture the heat of vase. Oh, hey, look at this. Shark biology. What is a shark? What's inside a shark? Except for, shouldn't that be, what is inside a shark besides a large amount of fish? Whatever. Except for large amounts of fish. It's okay. It's not the English I would have gone with. Anyway, well, we can just click on that though. Blam. Went through a bunch of upgrades. More discoveries are needed, but look what we can do here. This green blob means it's a new thing, and it says train a nurse shark. It costs 10 sharks and a bunch of fish. Because I'm going to train 10 at a time. Whatever. Remove a shark from fish duty and set them to shark making duty. Wink, wink. Wink, wink, wink. Blam. Oh, let's do that a couple times. Because now, look at this. We're getting 0.2 sharks a second. Oh, yeah, and look, now we got this cute little pink shark here with I don't know. What's that exactly supposed to be? I mean, there's a little heart. I'm not sure, actually. But the shark community grows with time. Ah, sweet. Too bad we couldn't grow the crabs. Now what do we need? Oh, not a lot. Oh, but actually we could afford both of them, can't we? Almost. Xenobiology. Yeah, we have that kelp produces sea apples twice as fast. Also, sea apple isn't a fruit. Can also dissect sea apples, jellyfish, and sponge for science. Some of those we haven't even seen yet. We can also make laser rays now. So let's go back here. Oh, okay, wait, no, we just want to get one. We want to get one laser ray. So remove a ray from sand detail and let them fuse sand into crystals. Blammo. So we have one laser ray, and now we're generating one crystal a second. And it's probably more than that because of... Yeah, we got 2 crystals a second. I think that a laser ray gives us 1 crystal a second. And, you know, crabs do what they do. They suck, basically. Oh, well, now what do we need to do? Oh, we need to wait for a bunch of stuff. So, prepare for another cut. Would you look at that? We're back in time for 2 upgrades. We have ray biology, which says, though kindred to the sharks, we know so little about the rays. If only we could fix this. We need to bait a sand trap. Hey, baited a sand trap. And then kelp horticulture. Determine what it takes to plant kelp all over the seabed. Maybe it's useful. Yeah, still shark community growing with time. We can make this guy to gear up a planter crab. Equip a crab with equipment and training to plant kelp across the ocean bottom. Let's do it. The crabs are kind of shitty along the idea of crystals. I mean, I think if we have... Yeah, we get 1 more crystal total, but we need some kelp. 6 a second. Whoa. Let's look at this. Say, oh, we can dissect study a sea apple. Dissected sea apples will gain additional science. Research. Let's just do 1. 1 for fun. We can also instruct a ray maker, remove a ray from sand business, and let them concentrate on making more rays. So that's pretty cool. How much do we need? It's like 800 kelp or something like that for 10 of them, which is what we want. So, those things will happen while, you guys don't see that, and then we'll jump cut to when I can buy some of these things. Here we are again, guys, with the available upgrades. Yeah, they can figure out what the sun is, which we're gonna do. Boom. Oh shit! I think we can afford both of those. By heating things up and doing science things to them, maybe new things can be made. Effects? Question mark. Woo! We can do some crab biology. Crabs are a mystery. They keep to themselves and dig up crystals or put down plants. What is even up with that? What are crabs? Now we know. But these should unlock some new things, like transmute stuff to Sharkonium. Convert ordinary resources into Sharkonium. Building material of the future. Yeah, we'll touch on that in a second. Here's what the cooler part is. We can form a crab brood. We can meld several crabs into a terrifying, incomprehensible crab-producing brood cluster. Doing it. So now we have 5 crab broods and 1 crab a second. We'll also make some of these because I think we need it for more stuff. And I was going to say, like, oh, maybe we'll keep doing cuts and keep this going, but I was thinking that, like, to get to the big part of this game, it took me, like, an hour the first time, I think. It was just part of the fun, and there's, like, a little bit extra stuff to do. It's kind of like Cookie Clicker in a way. Not exactly, but like, it's actually, well, whatever. If you play Cookie Clicker and you go through it and it's like, oh, it's just a clicker game. You just click the cookie and do a bunch of stuff. But then you start getting upgrades and get higher up, and then they're like, teaching the grandmas to be eldritch beings, and they all like meld minds, and it gets weird and freaky, and you're like, whoa, what is going on? That's kind of what this game does, but in a more I don't know exactly what the tone. It's different in tone. It's lighter in tone. I mean, well, okay. Cookie Clicker has eldritch grandmas, and they're pretty light in tone because that's just a stupid joke, right? It's pretty funny. This game is similar to that. It's just, I don't know why I'm struggling to describe it. Because it's like, we're in a strange blue sea. It doesn't explain anything that. It's, yeah, we're a shark swimming through the ocean. Maybe? But then when we can get to later, we can find, mysteries of the deep and go through portals and go to different worlds. So it's kind of like something. What am I trying to say here, man? You know what I mean? Like, Cookie Clicker was Eldritch Grandma and funny and whatever. And this is kind of cute. This is, like, cute and mysterious. And it also kind of has a little bit of a narrative you could build for yourself, which is interesting. That's the problem. There's a lot of clicker games that I'll probably do something about them because I've played a lot of them. But there's a bunch of clicker games, and a lot of them don't do anything to set themselves apart from the crowd. Like, there's Clicker Hero on Steam, and that one, well, I don't know. But they all seem to copy in a slightly different way and try to add their own thing, but this one is probably one of the better ones that adds its own, little whatever to it. And then you go, yeah, I'm into that. That's how I feel about it, at least. Because I'm like, this isn't bad. This is kind of neat. We have to get some upgrades after talking about that. Automation. Oh, can't afford exploration. We need to get more science. So what do we do? Didn't I do exploration? I don't know. You see it on the list. Oops, I didn't read it. No, wait. We did automation. Which... whatever. Let's do some exploration. We got shark power and ray power times 2. Which also, you can go here and look at this thing. It's like rays times 16. Crabs times 4. So it's like... crabs are producing 8 crystals a second. Rays are producing a bunch of sand. Sharks are obviously producing the most fish. But then it's also like... ray makers are producing 2 rays a second. Our sharks are producing a shark a second, 4 crabs a second. So, like, see, this number is growing as we're sitting here. It's awesome. Wow. I don't think I ever even noticed this one. See? Machines to do things for you. Machines to do things faster than you or any shark. So, I wonder if we're going to have new items. Wow, we do. We have a crystal miner. Take zirconium and it automatically harvests crystals efficiently. We can make a sand digger, which digs up sand, and a fish machine. Oh. I'm going to yawn. But that's what I want to produce. Because fish are actually a very valuable resource because it's what you buy a lot of things with. Although we can do this and go buy a bunch more of these things. Like, hey, let's buy a shitload of fish machines. Let's buy a sand digger. Let's buy a couple of those. Let's make a bunch of these. Let's do some of that. Let's make some shark nurses. Let's equip a bunch of laser rays so we can get more crystals faster, and more science faster, and more sharks faster, more crabs, because I guess we're running low on crabs. Also, look at this. We got like 2,000 science. We're going to dissect these things and study them and figure out what's going on. We're just like, blam, 20,000 science, almost 30,000 science, tons of science. We could go to this. We could do a far exploration, which times 4 a crab thing. Boom. Yeah, I don't know. There's a little bit of chit chat there, but probably have another cut until we can buy all these things and start showing the end game, I guess. You know, I wanted to wait for the chasm exploration, but I realized 1,000,000 science is going to take forever without, purchasing these things specifically. The machines sort of suck. Let's make them better. This is engineering. Boom, did it. Devise a system of pulverizing unwanted resource into a component waste, then reusing them as something else. Let's do that. Which opens up a new option, the recycler. We can take things, convert them to residue, and then convert the residue back into other things. Which is nice because we have like a shitload of sand and a shitload of fish. And say we don't have a lot of kelp. And the more kelp you have, the more sea apples you get. And the more sea apples you get, the more you can just do this, suddenly get a huge boost of science. So that's really nice. I think we're going to do something like this first, though. Get a bunch more crabs. Get a bunch more kelp production just on our own. Oh, wait. And what's this? Build an auto transmuter. This constructs a machine to automatically transmute sand and crystals into zirconium. Let's do that. Zirconium's pretty important. It lets us build these machines, really, which is nice because we can get some extra fish. We can do that. The other thing, we can do with this recycler here is say, here's this, here's this, here's this, here's this, here's this. Oh, we could make this into 21 crystal miners to just make our crystal output go crazy. Or 15 fish machines to make our fish output go crazy. Because, here's what you do in this game. Here's how this game works. What is producing the most? Oh, sand's producing the most. Let's add some sand diggers, which actually didn't increase very much because we already had a bunch of them. What did I say? Put it into kelp so we get some sea apples. But yeah, so then we start producing crazy amounts of sand. We dump the sand out, and then we get sand diggers in replace of it, and we end up with like an excessive amount of production. We just like boost production this way. That's a way. Well, that's a way to do it. You know, who knows if that's really a great idea or not. I don't think there's like a wiki for this game or anything. So who knows? But like, this video is probably going to be very long, even with the cuts, which I was hoping not to do. But oh, what's this? Construct a machine to automatically recycle kelp and sand into residue. We need some residue to do it, though. Well, that's a lot of residue. Whatever. Yeah, sure, let's make 21 of those. Then we can also check on this, because, like, we're still making kelp. Obviously making sand. So, like, what happens? A skimmer takes a total of 168 sand. Oh, I thought it did kelp. It says fish. It basically makes negligible numbers, and it makes a bunch of residue, which is nice because it supplements your recycling, basically. So we have a bunch of residue now that we can use for doing whatever we want with, which we're going to throw into this because we're almost producing 100,000. Yep, there we go. 100,000 sand a second. Which is a lot. Don't really need. Well, that could be okay. We just need a lot more zirconium. And then we'll throw some into this. Do that. What do we need? What did I say we need? We need 1,000,000 science. Well, you guys, I mean, also, we got this nice little thing here. This place is not your home. You remember Crystal Blue Ocean, the chasm beckons. Also realize that we're in our home ocean, so I think this is like the ocean where sharks come from. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, we now have 1,000,000 science, so we can send 1,000 sharks into the chasm with 1,000,000 science and some food for them, and campaign of risky, foolhardy expedition to the deeps. The deeps. To find whatever can be found. We found it. Wow. And then there's these upgrades that are crazy because they cost 10 billion science. And there's a struggle to get to that. But look at this. We got this new tab called Strange Gate. A foreboding circular structure, closed shut. There are many slots and a sign you know to mean insert items here. We're pretty smart for a shark, you know that? You know, these sharks are smart. They figured all of this stuff. Well, we can insert fish into fish slot. I don't know how many that took. It'd be nice if it said that, but whatever. No, we're going to do max. Anyway, we can insert sand into the sand slot, crystals into the crystal slot, kelp into the kelp slot, sea apples into the sea apple slot. Whoa. And zirconium into the zirconium slot. Whoa. The last slot closes. The structure open. The water glows and shimmers within. A gentle tug pulls at you. Let's check it out. What could it be? You are a shark in the space between worlds. Something unseen says your journey has only just begun. Entering this place has changed you, granting us one essence. We have one essence. Yeah, it was an hour and 45. That's not accurate. I don't think that's accurate. Anyway, we could look at artifacts, which we can't afford. But, like, we could bring some rays with us, or some crabs with us. We had a bunch of essence. We can multiply everything's income. But we can just do this, and this is what the deal is. Other worlds await. We can go to a marine world, a serene blue world, peaceful, beautiful, so close to home, but it's not home. A haven. Oh, that's definitely where we're going to go. I don't know what the climate level means. I think it improves growth of stuff. But look at this. Let's definitely go to a haven because, look at that. It said, an aquamarine world of plenty, so beautiful, yet so vulnerable. And we're a shark. we're ready to take advantage of that. And then look at this. You know, this person said in their changelog that this is placeholder art. It could be improved a little bit, but this is pretty adorable. I like it. Anyway, here we are, just back to catching fish. Oh, holy crap. Now a shark, a singular shark, gives 5 fish a second. It's like a ray. It only gives us 1 sand a second. Oh, yeah, I think just when you're in these... a heaven ocean, every fish is multiplied by a lot. By 5 at least, is what it looks like. Anyway, that's the whole game. Then you can reset a bunch of times and get a bunch of extra crap, and you get a bunch of new things, and you'll meet some new sea critters to play with and have on your journey and help you do some stuff. But this was a clicker game in a video that I just wanted to do for funsies. So, thanks for watching. You can find the clicker game in the description, as well as, you know, my Facebooks and Twitter and whatever. And I'll see you guys in whatever other video I put out. Also, because this one will be, like, in the middle of the week, and it's going to be an extra thing, so, you know, enjoy a bonus video.